What is up, everybody, and welcome to the Risk World Cup 2024 award show. We're going to go through a few awards. We have Crackle069 and Micah also here to help us hand out these very prestigious awards. That was your guys' cue. Yep, you got it. Micah got it. Okay, so let's make sure you can hear them. Okay, I got you guys turned on. So first we're going to start with a few, probably the most important awards, I would say, in the whole thing. First off, we'll kick it off with the most relentless fan base. Do you guys have any recommendations for this award, or?
I mean, it's gonna. My prediction. Can I do a prediction or
Yeah,
real
I'd
quick?
like a prediction.
I'm gonna say England. Could be Germany, but I'm gonna go with England.
Okay.
So I might be biased on this, but I saw a lot of people pulling for Eastern Europe also,
Ooh, Eastern Europe, yeah.
and
Yeah,
I know they didn't make the finals, but Norway,
Oof,
Norway had a lot of love too.
that's true. That's true. Okay. So, yeah, I thought about calling the award the most annoying fan base, but I didn't know if annoying translated well into English. So we
It
would go
it
with
doesn't, even though it's accurate.
okay, got it. Definitely England, most relentless fan base. Um, and they're not afraid to tell you that they're the most relentless fan base. Very strong, hardy supporters. Very passionate about their teams. Even if they have to shove it in your face, I would say is probably the best description.
yeah. Relentless is a nice word for it.
Relentless, yeah, was the nicest way I could possibly say it, I think. Yeah,
Yeah, sounds fair.
yeah, okay. Most entertaining qualifiers. You guys have any opinions on the most entertaining qualifiers?
Either Afghanistan or
Oh,
Australia.
Afghanistan, yeah. Okay, why do
Yeah,
you say
Yeah.
Australia?
Afghanistan was great. Afghanistan was great.
Yeah, Afghanistan's pretty entertaining. Why do you say Australia, Micah?
Um, Honestly, mainly because I was a little bit blown away, and I think Noob No More was too, just by his performance in a lot of those qualifier games. He
Gotcha.
quickly was racking up points,
Just
but it was
dominating.
also, yeah, it was also like entertaining and watch to see and cool to see that that skill level just at the qualification level.
Yeah.
And then as for the Afghan games, um, the uh, the love that the players were getting. Oh man, I feel terrible. I'm drawing a blank on this guy's name, but
Qualsy.
he's a parent. Sorry,
Qualsy?
not Qualsy.
Okay.
He was the Twitch chat Afghan fans were telling me that this dude was like a 60-year-old player
Oh,
Talking
for
about Murph,
really?
yeah,
Murph
and
maybe.
I can't. I
Murph?
feel terrible for not Murph. No, I don't think it was Murph
Okay.
actually. I'm drawing a blank on his name, so I
I'm sure someone
apologize.
knows. Yeah.
So someone will. I wouldn't be surprised if Samidex knows. I don't know if he's in the chat or not.
Yeah.
Tamer,
But
Tamer, right? Was it Tamer?
Tamer, yes,
Tamer.
yeah, Tamer. Tamer was the 60-year-old Afghan expert player in the qualifiers, and he was always getting he was getting a lot of love and a little bit of oh, what's the word? Just about all the fans were calling him out for how old he was. So,
Ah,
but
that's funny.
Well,
in a you know in a friendly way.
I
So
just assumed all the Afghan qualifiers were like 18-year-olds. Just kind of the way they were like chatting with each other and stuff. So
I
that's
think the
funny.
most were. Most
oh
were.
no,
Then there was one that was a little older, grandfather of the Afghan risk
Hmm.
community. Older than
Love it.
Mallory, which is
Older
weird.
than Mallory?
Yeah, very weird.
Whoa. All right, most entertaining qualifiers goes to Afghanistan. Thought it was super entertaining. A lot of fun to watch that group. Really cool that that group got together and put on such a big qualifier with 10 of them from Afghanistan. So, love to see that kind of thing. Best solo performance. You guys have any opinions on the best player that carried his team? That was the only player on his team for the tournament. solo performance?
Shoot, I can't remember his name, but the Western Asia player,
Oh, Western. Yeah, so Ivor Sama
Ivor Sama.
had to
Yeah.
play quite a bit by himself. Um, I had the best solo performance going to Singapore though, with just a jelly bean. So I think
Okay.
either of those two were options. And then best duo performance. So two-player team. Your guys' favorite two-player team?
Well, I thought Israel did great
Yeah,
as a two-player team. I also I did four, however it says that.
yeah,
A great solo performance as well. I mean, Saber's obviously a great player as well, but he definitely showed up.
yeah. Yeah, I think it was a kind of a two-team race here, and I went the other way. So that you might be right. I could be totally wrong, but I went with Greece. I thought they were pretty entertaining there. Um,
Oh, that
Very
would
good
be
team.
that's
Very
Driz and
cool
Key
club.
Mistake, right?
yeah, Drizzen key mistake for
Yeah, they
sure.
were good.
Yeah, for sure.
I kind of thought you were gonna have Arco and his card luck in here
Arco
as one of the
and Cards
contenders.
on 3 as a duo. Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
that it was
But
an
no,
honorable
it
mention.
makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
honorable
we'll
mention.
throw that in there as the honorable mention.
Talking about practice. So the teams you felt did the most practicing. What do you guys think? Who do you
Well, I
see in
gotta
there
say,
the most?
not to play favorites here, but Brilliant Frog of White Meadow was leading Team One in practice a lot.
Yeah.
I saw that. I got to say, I was overly annoyed by the notification for it.
He was practicing all the time.
He was.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually thought there were a couple different Americans, but specifically Brilliant Frog. So I gave the award to the U.S. of A. For the max practicers. Yeah, EU definitely practiced quite a bit. Agreed, they were in there quite a bit also. All right. Best map and mouth runners. So this is kind of a double qualification award. You had to be really good at running 70 and also really good at talking yourselves up. Any opinions?
That's an interesting mix.
Yeah, it's a combo.
Yeah.
It's a really important skill set that you can run 70s, but also talk about how good you are.
Huh. Yeah,
I think.
I'm not sure I heard too many people
Oh,
talk about this
really?
one.
Really? Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, not a lot, not a ton of trash talk. I think. I will say, England. A lot of English players are a little blazing,
Mm-hmm.
maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe see Zycron
This
in
is
there.
very obviously
Definitely,
England
they
won.
definitely.
England
Yeah.
won. Very obviously. England won, by the way, won 3 of their 5 70% games.
Oh wow.
So super impressive, and why Leona keeps yelling about the points not being worth as much for the 70% game. So I did that purposely to annoy Leona. Was the only reason we made the points different was for Leona.
Nice. Well, that's important to do. You always want to try to annoy her a little bit.
I don't know if mouth running translates quite to British English, but yeah, I think you guys fit within the category nicely. Okay, and then we've got our real awards. Real awards here. So this is your top 3 in best broadcaster. Mike, if you were 4th, by the way, just to be clear, you were
Okay.
4th. So
I should have been last, but I'll take it.
very close 4th.
Thanks.
So here were your top 3 in awards, or for best broadcaster, and these are voted on by the participants. Thank you guys for voting. I think we had like 40 votes or so, which is a good number. Any thoughts on who you guys think takes home best broadcaster here? Hot Buns, Open Tanyao, or Quarantined?
Well, I think you know, I think Hot Buns really put herself into the Risk World Cup frame of mind for this. Like she puts on her gear, her English
Yes.
gear, and to represent her team and everything. And I like that.
Yep.
I will say quarantine really filled in a lot of gaps that we needed
Yeah.
for broadcast. I
Yeah.
definitely want to give a shout out on that.
Yeah, big shout. Yeah, on our end, when we're doing the scheduling stuff, Quarantine did an awesome job of jumping in when we had a gap pop up for sure. And Mike did some of that too. So, And Open Tanyao had an apartment noise complaint issue that challenged him towards the end, so he couldn't do as many broadcasts towards the end.
Yeah, that just shows how good of an over-the-top broadcaster he is, I
Yeah,
guess.
if I was describing Open, I would describe him as a disturbance of the peace with how, you know, emotionally into the game he gets for sure. Okay, so your best and thank you to all the broadcasters for carrying the Risk World Cup last year for Risk World Cup version 1. You guys might remember I was doing like, I don't know, 20 hours a week of Risk World Cup broadcasts, especially through the qualifiers. My wife nearly murdered me during it, so thank you guys for everybody kind of taking the load and hopefully growing your community and people that you talk to and who knows you. That's a big part of what we're trying to do here. So thank you to all of our broadcasters who did such a good job. But your winner of Best Broadcaster for Risk World Cup 2024 and the winner of $50 is Hot Buns. Never heard of her.
Congrats, Buns.
Congrats to Buns. Buns put in a ton of effort in those broadcasts. Not necessarily in covering all of the depth of the broadcasting strategy, but a ton of effort into customizing playlists for certain nations, digging up English football footage from the 1960s to show the last time they won a major tournament and things like that, just to get people going. So big ups to Hot Buns for how good of a show she puts on and her effort in the Risk World Cup. All right, next prize. Best match hosts. And our top 3 listed here. Chris and Chips, Grimshanky, and Zengo were your top 3 vote getters and match hosts. Again, thank you to all the match hosts. You make this thing possible. You make the live scoreboards possible so people can see what the points look like while they're watching games, and keeping everything in order, keeping the lobbies in order. So huge thanks to all of our match hosts. You guys did such a great job. But here's your top 3. What do you guys think? Chris and Chips, Grimshanky, and Zengo are your top 3.
I gotta say I'm split. I love all these guys. They're all they're all great. I might be biased towards Shanky though, because he's a fellow daddy in my 2v2 team over in the
Gotcha.
Kill Pete server. So
A little bit of a
but
connection.
all these guys are solid and great hosts.
Yeah, I really do think all these guys, and all first-time match host guys too. That none of these guys were really hosts last year, or they don't really do.
Yeah, all first
hosting
time for us
just
for
when
sure, and
I've
I'm not
seen-
sure how
I've
much
seen
they've
much
done
of it.
elsewhere.
But I actually I put my vote in for Chris and Chips. I just felt like he was all over the place
Yeah.
when you needed to. He filled in a lot of spots when people can make things.
Yeah, another guy that jumped
And I
in
thought
when we
that's
needed a
perfect.
spot filled for sure.
I'm not gonna lie, I forgot to vote for this one.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, all these guys again. Thank you to all the match hosts. Did a great job. But your winner of the Risk World Cup 2024 Best Match Host and $50 goes to Chris and Chips.
Awesome.
Chris and Chips, your winner this year of Best Match Host. Luckily for the English, they've failed kills and runs in the first 2 games of the finals, but they've taken home Best Broadcaster and Best Match Host. So I guess that's some consolation for the English here.
Yeah, I mean he is gonna have to use some of that on on a nice fish and chips dish though.
Yeah, I
mean,
would think so.
just because it goes so well with his name.
I assume that's what he does. Yeah. Okay, and then so we have 2 more individual player awards that we'll give out after the final game. So it'll be in the big announcement that we shoot out, because it's actually based off of most bounties and then most average points per game. So both of those are still available. So I'm going to just tell you who's kind of up in the running for those real quick. And then I'll tell you.
Golden Slayer Award is a very prestigious award.
Yeah, so last year, Crackle won the Golden Slayer Award, which is for the most bounties in the tournament. So we don't base it off the number of games you played or anything. It's just straight up most bounties in the tournament. You get the Golden Slayer Award. Crackle won it with 9 last year. And I can go ahead and tell you that our top 5 or our top 4 are all 9 or higher. So Arco's currently sitting at 9 bounties. Talic XL sitting at 12. Jellybean sitting at 12. And Blazin sitting at 9. So if it comes down to Talic XL and Jellybean at 12 there, if no one else gets in there, which Blazin I think is playing in this game 3. I'm not for sure on that. But if they both end at 12, then Talic will get the award because he's played it. He's done his 12 bounties in less games. So you guys can all consider yourselves in the Crackle universe there if you get to. I think Crackle does a dinner
Rare
each year
air.
with all of the Golden Slayers. They do a big dinner kind of event where they
Yep.
get together.
Get the coveted magenta colored jacket.
That's right, magenta colored jacket, and talk about ruining people's games and things
Talk
like
about
that.
slaying.
Yeah, talk about
So
slaying.
if Blazin wins it, you're saying he gets a blazer, a Blazin blazer.
That's right. It'll be a Blazin' Blazer. So that's the Golden Slayer. We'll officially hand that out after this game 3, because then we'll know who actually won it. And then the most average points per game currently are, and that's the Golden Roller Award. The Golden Roller Award goes to the player with the most average points per game. Currently, Arco leading that at 21.75 points per game that he's played in, which is just an unheard of crazy number. Speedster's in second at 16, Blazin's in third at 14.25, and Talic's in fourth at 13.5. So likely that award goes to Arco, but we'll wait till the end of game 3 to decide that officially. Any of your guys' thoughts on best? I'll go to the slide here first. Let's do that. Okay, so the Golden Roller top 3. So these are voted on by the participants, the best overall player in the tournament. You could use whatever criteria you wanted, but the best overall player in the tournament. The top 3 come down to Arco, Blazin, and Talic XL. Those were the 3 most voted on by participants. What are your guys' thoughts?
I don't think you can go wrong with any of them. I mean, they're all on fire. Unfortunately, Blazin and Talic don't have the same luck that Arco gets. So
Yeah, if they had more
maybe they
cards
learned
on
a
3,
little more.
maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, Arco, he plays really well, and he really has that, sit back and wait for the opportunity, and then when that opportunity comes, he does not hesitate to pounce on it. And then Talic's the type of player where he'll just balls to the wall. He doesn't care if the opportunity is quite there or not. He's gonna
Yeah.
do everything he can to open up that opportunity for himself.
Yeah.
I wish I could say more about Blazin, but unfortunately, I simply haven't seen as many
Yeah.
of his games as I probably should have. Yeah, I agree with Crackle. Any of these guys would be good to give it to.
Yeah, I think the playstyles are quite different. I think Blazin and Talic are more of they go for the 80% chance sometimes when they need a couple of decent rolls to go their way. And Arco's the very patient, calculated, just wait for my cards on 3
remember,
kind of style.
yeah, Arco has to deal with the risk gods that
Right.
1 out of every 3 tournament games he will be fed again.
Exactly. So he can just kind of be patient and wait for that, right?
Yeah, he sits back, he waits for it.
Yeah. So as the fans voted, your player of the tournament for Risk World Cup 2024 is Arco. And he had won 4 of it. He won his first 4 games in the tournament. He did not win this week for the final. But congratulations to Arco getting the Golden Roller best overall player for the tournament. And that's your I think it's rigged. Honestly, it's rigged. Obviously, it's rigged. Okay.
Congrats, Arco.
So those are your initial awards for the Risk World Cup. Thanks to everybody for all the time and effort and passion you guys have put into this event. It's what makes it so awesome, is seeing the people that aren't even in the event interacting, communicating, rooting on their teams, and all that stuff. It's really cool. It makes it a super unique event each year in Risk, and we'll do it again next year. But for now, we have a special PRT announcement. So about a year ago, it's about 10 months ago, almost 11 months ago, we started Professional Risk Takers, and we've got a major update for you guys today. So before we do the update, just put in the chat what your guys' guess is of what we're about to announce